Get him. Get him. Hit him with a pose. Yeah.
Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy back in the Gen HD here, and welcome to another YouTube video. So in today's video, we are updating another top 10s list. We are going to be updating our top 10 goalkeepers list. Alright, before we do get into the video, again, I do want to let you guys know this is my opinion and my opinion only, and all the cards that I'm listing as my top 10 goalkeepers are just cards that I think are the best goalkeepers currently in the game. Without further ado, we're now going to get into the list, starting with my number 10. Alright guys, number 10 on the goalkeepers list, starting it off really easy, will be Sherpen. Okay, so Sherpen is one of the taller goalkeepers in game. He is 6'9". This is his UCL version. It's only a 95 rated, so it's very easy to afford him. Going into his traits, he does have the long thrower trait, which is exactly what you need for a head-to-head goalkeeper. Absolutely amazing goalkeeper, you guys. I've faced this guy a couple times, not of recent, but I still believe he is a very cheap beast. Going into his transfer value, one of the most affordable goalkeepers in the game currently. So getting his rank 5 is an absolute must, like rank 5, and then at least training 27 plus. Now moving on to our number 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 9 is going to be none other than Kobo. Okay, so 103 Kobo. 103 Kobo. This card has had absolute fantastic consistency across the board with all of his cards. I know the 103 is a bit of the lower overall, but he is 6'5". Going into his traits, he does have the long thrower trait. He's very good at saving finesse shots and also power shots as well. Absolutely amazing goalkeeper. Going into his transfer value, we call this the low budget pricing. So also getting his rank 5 is an absolute must because he is a 103, and then training 27 plus. All right, you guys, we're now going to be moving into our number 8. All right, so this card has gone under the radar a little bit, but I will still be advocating for Mamardashvili. I do feel like once he makes that move to Liverpool in the upcoming year, then he'll start getting more spotlight and start getting more cards. But Mamardashvili, 6'6". This is the highest rated card that he has now in his trick or treat version. Standing at 6'6", long thrower trait. Going into his transfer value, he's very cheap, so getting his rank 5 is an absolute must, and then training 27 plus. Now moving on to our number 7. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 is going to be Peter Schmeichel, the new 107 rated card. I know he has a 105 and he has cheaper versions, but we're giving this card the number 7. Okay, so obviously with goalkeepers, when they just get released, they're not as cracked. This card is absolutely broken in versus attack, and then head to head, again, there are some inconsistencies, but he does make some decent saves. So standing at 6'4", going into his trade, he has the push up for corners, which is absolutely useless if you don't get a corner in like the 90th minute or so. And then he also has the long thrower trait. Going into his transfer value, he is a very expensive card. So if you pack this card or you claim him and you're wondering if you should use him or not, the answer would absolutely be yes. Now moving on to our number 6. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 6 is going to be none other than Szczesny. Okay, so finally Szczesny has gotten an upgraded card. Szczesny cards are also very consistent when it comes to performance, so glad he got the 106. He's standing at 6'5". Going into his traits, he does have the long thrower trait, and then his transfer value, again, he is a bit on the expensive side because his card is a similarly new released card. If you did pack this card and you're wondering if you should use him, absolutely yes. Rank 4 or his rank 5 would be the best way to go. Now we're going to be moving into the big boys, our top 5 goalkeepers in FC Mobile right now, in my opinion, starting with our number 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 is going to be none other than Thibaut Courtois. Okay, so the 6'7" previously used to be 6'6". This card is just still very broken. I know this is currently his 104. He doesn't have a higher rated one. He has the long thrower trait. Absolutely great card at saving finesse shots. Very annoying card to play against. And then his price has been consistently even throughout, but getting his rank 4, preferably his rank 5, would be the best way to go. And if you cannot afford this version of Courtois, yes, I will say you can drop down to lower versions that fit within your budget. And now we're going to be moving into our number 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 is going to be Donnarumma. Again, Donnarumma is another card that's consistently that has consistent performance in this game no matter what card he has. His only downside when we go into his traits will be his long thrower trait. So he doesn't have a long thrower trait. This is the card that I currently have as well. He's 6'5". He does absolutely amazing for me. One downside though, he can save finesse shots and power shots, but with insane finesse shots, some players in this game have absolutely insane finesse shots. It's very hard for him to save those, but other than that, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. So going into his transfer value, obviously he's mid-range price, so getting his rank 4, preferably his rank 5, would be the best way to go. Now moving on to our number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 is going to be Peter Cech, standing at 107, a newly released neon Peter Cech. Going into his traits, he does have the long thrower trait, also standing at 6'5", and going into his transfer value, he's a bit on the expensive side. So if you did claim Cech or you've packed him and he's in your club somewhere, absolutely yes, you can use him. If you're able to afford this card, absolutely yes. Getting his rank 4 or his rank 5 would be the best way to go. Now moving on to our number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 is going to be none other than Venya Milinkovic-Savic. The reason he's taken number 2, obviously one of the reasons is he is the most affordable card in the game right now for every single account. So whether you be free to play, pay to play, low budget, high budget, insane card. I keep finding myself going back to this version of his card because it's his highest rated version that he has. Going into his traits, he does have the long thrower trait, standing at 6'8". Okay, so going into his transfer value, as we can see, he's been very consistent in price. Okay, so getting his rank 5 is an absolute must. Now, without further ado, you guys, we're going to move into our number 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 for goalkeeper, I'm going to give it to him right now, Emiliano Martinez. Okay, so I've been facing this card, and let me tell you, it's been more than once, more than twice. This card has been a thorn in my spine. Standing at 6'5", does have the long thrower trait. And yeah, man, just an amazing card. This version of his card, I believe, is the best one I've seen of him. And then going into his transfer value, very affordable card. So getting his rank 4, preferably his rank 5, would be the best way to go. All right, you guys, we're now going to move into some honorable mentions. Just missing out on the list, but there are still great goalkeepers to have if you do have them. We're going to start with our honorable mention number 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, honorable mention number 1 is going to be Gianluigi Buffon. Okay, so this card has also been very cracked in this game, but there's a couple downsides with this card. Inconsistency. Some games, or most games, he'll be cracked, and then some games he's just nowhere to be found. Also, he is missing the long thrower trait. When it comes to head-to-head, long thrower trait is very important for starting counterattacks. Going into his transfer value, he is, for his 107 overall and for how he performs in game, I don't believe he's worth 5 bill. But if you do have him and he's performing very well for you, I'll advise to continue to use him. Just for me personally, I'm going to put him in the honorable mentions. Now moving on to our honorable mention number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, honorable mention number 2 is going to be the new David De Gea. 105 David De Gea from the Pitch Beat event. Okay, so the reason I'm giving this card an honorable mention, I'm gonna be honest, I really haven't faced this card or used him, but he looks absolutely great. He has all the assets to be a great goalkeeper, so I'm gonna put him in the honorable mentions for now. If he's performing very well, he'll move up the list. Other than that, he's just gonna be honorable mentions. And then he has the long thrower trait. Also going into his transfer value, he's very affordable, so getting his rank 4, preferably his rank 5, would be the best way to go. Now moving into our third and final honorable mention. All right, ladies and gentlemen, third and final honorable mention is going to be Alisson, the UCL road to the final live overall. Again, I believe he's going to stay as a 105 because Liverpool got knocked out. Standing at 6'4", Alisson cards, I'm going to be honest, guys, they are also like Buffon cards, to where they're sometimes good and sometimes inconsistent, but Alisson is very consistent with versus attack. Games in head-to-head, he's a very annoying. He's one of the quickest goalkeeper to come off the line. So standing at 6'4", long thrower trait, going into his transfer value, we'll call this mid-range pretty much, so around 2 billion. So getting his rank 4 or his rank 5, preferably his rank 5, would be the best way to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for our top 10 goalkeepers plus honorable mentions. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and if you want to see more content like this one, click on this video here.